Alright guys, welcome to another PS4 video. Now we have a parcel sent to us. Now let's have a look what's inside. Okay, we've got a lot of PS4 controllers. We've got quite a few of them. Okay, alright, so we'll pick one and then we'll show you how to fix that. So I think there's about 10 or 15 of them in here, so we'll pick this one. Pick an easy one. So this one's got missing joysticks, L2, R2 and the rubber inside. So let's have a look at this one. Other ones have labels on them like battery issue. This one has no label. This one has a left analog issue. This one charging port. Not turning on. Alright, cool, so we'll take this one out and then we'll fix this. Okay, alright, so we've got this one here. Let's take off the screws and let's have a look if we can actually fix this. So the charging port seems okay for this. So these 4 screws on here, very easy. I'm just using a small Phillips here. I don't even know what the size is for that. It's the ones that you use for phones, and very tiny screws like the ones you use for glasses, eyeglasses, optics. Okay, so those are out. Let's move that out of the way. Okay, and grab here and just pull. Okay, let's get rid of this. We have this R2, the battery, there's the spring, I need that. Okay, so I'll zoom you guys in so you can have a look at what I'm doing out there. Okay, so take this off. There's a clip on this side. There's a clip on this side. That just comes off. This one here. There's a tab. Grab that, pull that. That's for the pad there. Okay. I might have to desolder these wires, but I'm going to try and show you that. Don't think you need to desolder that. So there's just that one screw in the middle. That comes off. Okay, and yep, so you can just take it off like that without the need to desolder those wires. And these just pop right out. What I tend to do at this point is I'll grab my little brush and just give this a little brush away, especially these contacts here and that contact there. It's just to get all the dust and hairs and what's not is in here. Okay, so it's looking good. Alright, so those are the old ones. Now let me find some newer ones. Okay, so there's a packet. These can be found on AliExpress, very cheap. They're about $2.19 for a pack of 10 or something like that. So very cheap, and they just clip back on just like that. Easy. Okay, goes there, and you can reapproximate this. You just have to wiggle it back in. Sometimes it gets stuck. Yep, that's it there. Grab your screw and just put that screw back on there. It's easy as that, how to replace that joystick. So that's the old one and that's the new one. Okay, now the next step is to get rid of this, just so I can put some new rubbers, and the other side's missing. So once I'm doing that, I really want to make sure that it actually works properly, not just replacing one side. So I mean, it's cheap enough, and I'll do that. And I want to give it away with you know, like it's working properly and stuff like that, not just replacing something that it should have been done. Okay, so the way to take this one off is I just use this, and I press in there, and then that thing comes off. Yep. Okay, and this thing just comes off like that. There is a rubber piece. And at this point, what I do is I grab myself a Q-tip and some IPA. So IPA, Q-tip. Don't be tempted to spray on that because you can damage the pads. And what I do is I just clean that. Yeah. Okay, same thing on this side. Okay, so that's that. Now I have my R1, which goes here. Yep. But I don't have a L2 or an R2. So what I'm going to do is I will go and look for those. I think it's in this packet. Yep, it is. Okay, so lucky. So see, this whole bag here you can get from AliExpress for about $2.19. Okay, so I have this. What do I have in here? Okay, here's a set. Sometimes what happens is these sets don't come with any springs in them, which this one doesn't. So what I'm going to do is I'll just use this one here. And let's take that out. Let's get rid of those and match them up, see if they're the same, they look the same, feel the same. Oops, yep, they look the same, feel the same. Alright, so now, okay, that's the old one, and so those are the old ones. This is my new set here, and I need a rubber piece. So the rubber piece should look like that. Yep, so there's my bag of rubber pieces, and I need 2. So 1 and 2. Yep. Okay. Alright, and then again what I do is prior to installation I just give this a good clean. And to put this on, very easy. So you can see those 2 holes there. So those holes are what line up with those 2 there. So you put that on there, and then just line up that hole. And that's it. Yep, and that's seated in there now. And then just pull this rubber piece back off. So that's all seated in there. It's pressing down relatively easy. And now let's grab our R2, R1. So that's R1. Yep, that's working fine. And what is that one? R1. I need my R2. And the way to do this one is there's a clip there, but there's also, if you can have a look, there's that groove there. See that groove? And that's where the spring sits in. Yeah. And the way to do that is, again, I'll zoom you in a bit further. Yep. So the way to do that is you grab your R2 and you grab your spring. What I tend to do is before I place this on, I just give it a bit more tension on the edges, just so it springs back a lot faster, especially when you're playing RPG games or first person shooter games. And then you do is you line that up there, and so this spring needs to sit inside like that. Sit inside like that, and that goes there, and it clips back in. Yep, and there you go. So there's the function for it. So you notice how that spring sits? You can see that. So there's that spring there. Yeah, cool. Alright, so the next side, same thing, just repeat. Again, IPA on my Q-tip, and just give this rub down. Take your time when you're doing this, don't rush. And then grab that rubber piece that sits in there, like so. Yep, can you see? Yep, perfect. And this just goes underneath the cradle there. Yep, the rubber just comes over top. Check the function of it, see if it's pressing down without any obstruction. Right, and then L1. Yep. And again, grab your spring, very tiny spring, and you just pull it back just slightly, just so it gives it a bit more tension. And so this one sits like this, so this one sits on like that, so the spring goes here. Okay, and then that spring inside, like so, sits there, and you clip it back in. Okay. Yep, so that's it. There's the function of it. Okay, there's something funny going on with this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because this is pushed back a little, this joint, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slightly move it inwards. You can do that with just ever so light pressure, like that. You can apply so there, just so ever so lightly. Yep. It's usually what I think what's happened with this controller has been projected. So there you go. There you are, that's clipped back in. And what I did was I just bent that in so slightly. Yep. There you go. And now what we do is we bring the piece back in to hold the battery. I think while I was opening this, one of the pieces fell out for the reset button. It's here somewhere. Okay, that's okay. Usually there's a piece that sits inside here for the reset button, but I don't think I have it. No, okay. Oh, no, it's here. So this piece here, that's for the reset button, and that's the way that sits is through that, and that will sit there. Should feel it clip. And when you're putting that reset button in, make sure you feel that switch is clicking. Alright, now the battery goes there, wires go there, like so. And have a look inside. If any dust or debris, give that a clean. And it's just pretty much reassembly from here. Pay attention to the orientation of that cable. And put that on, push back, done. There you go, it's flashing away. Okay, there you go. That's basically it. Reapproximate the screws. Go here. I always tend to go diagonal first, just so it holds the cradle in place before I can screw any other ones in. So, but you can go in any order, it's not mandatory to go in a specific order. Okay, that's it. Last one. Cool, and that's it. And now what I do is, the final test for me is to turn on the charger and see if the light turns on. It turns to amber. Yep, and then it should go away, fade away, and it'll come back on. Perfect. So there you are. Easy. Just by replacing these two and those two triggers, I guess you could call it, controllers back to life. Hopefully this has helped somebody out there, and thank you for watching.